I came around the back way. We had our special spectators here, and I was taking pictures with him, so he'll be all right, I'm sure. Got everybody. You want to put that up here? It's all right. Okay. Well, obviously, it was a very good day for us. Our players came out and played very well. The first drive, Kansas scored on. We made a couple mistakes, but had a couple unorthodox plays that set us back a little bit, and then turned the guy loose on a little vertical route there for a touchdown. But after that, we came back and played better and forced some turnovers, and offense played good. And we had a chance to get a lot of players in the game, which is good. A lot of young men that give a lot to our football team had a chance to get out there and play in front of their moms and dads, and that's really a neat day and get a big kick out of that. So overall, it was a good day for us.
To get 10 touchdowns on 25 minutes of possession, is that as efficient an offensive performance as y'all have ever had around?
Well, it's pretty efficient, Bill, and we just, some days things just work, you know. You hit a golf ball and hits a tree limb, bounces back in the fairway, and our guys prepared well, and I feel like that they're fresh, and we seem to be in pretty good shape, and we're able to play fast, and we just have guys that know how to run the system, and so it just makes it a lot easier.
In baseball pennant races, there's a lot of talk about scoreboard watching. Were you at all interested in the score down south today and the kind of beating that Texas took and what that might mean for you guys?
Not really. I watch a little bit of the game based on where we're at in our pregame activities, just to kind of make pass time. But college football is about matchups and a certain personnel against another team's personnel. That's why you see so many varying scores across the country. So I obviously watched it to pass time, but other than that, really didn't pay much attention.
Whedon came out quick. Was it more about mercy or safety or both? You wouldn't want to leave him in.
Quick, you mean out in the second quarter?
Yeah, you brought him out of the game quick. Was it more about mercy for Kansas or?
Yeah, we were ahead 40. I don't know how. We were ahead far enough to where there was no reason to leave him in the game, and we'd take everybody out. And you know, I like Turner Gill, and not that we have to give mercy to anybody, but there's no reason to leave him and Blackman and those guys in when we were ahead by, I don't know how many touchdowns we were ahead by. Right, so there's just no reason to do it, in my opinion. That's just me. Every coach is different, and the other guys deserve to play. At some point, you got to bring those guys along, and they've been practicing, and they've gone through Coach Glass's off season and been out there, and so they deserve to be in the game.
Was there ever anything in your coaching background, either here or somewhere else, where somebody did not show you like the proper mercy, and you thought, you know what, if I'm ever in the opposite position, I'm not going to do that?
I'm not sure, and my approach has been, if we were to be in that situation, then we need to stop them, because I can't control what another coach does, and he has every right to play and call the plays that he thinks has to develop his football team. And you know, this has nothing to do with Kansas or anybody else, but if we were on the flip side of it, we need to stop them if we don't want them in there. And I just would prefer our guys to get out and let the other guys play.
You got to look at Clint Chelf, talk about his performance in the second half.
You know, Chelf made some good throws. He had a couple throws that I'm sure he'd like to have back, but he probably got to play 25, 30 snaps or something. I'm not for sure how many he played, and he was able to run our offense. And the only downfall of this system is if you're in a situation like that, it's hard for us to use the clock, and it's hard for us to just run it, because that's not what we do. Now in the last 4 minutes, we just put two backs in there and just run it up the middle. But other than that, we have to run our offense, because it's only fair to those guys to be able to go in there and execute the plays that they've practiced for 2 months.
You talked about those guys deserving a chance to play. There's some value in getting them out there too.
Yes.
Right?
The young players that aren't going to redshirt, and then there's some players that maybe are a little more experienced but haven't played as much, and it's good for the morale of your football team. They'll enjoy watching it with their buddies in the video in the tape room tomorrow when they watch the tape, and some of the younger guys get experience. You know, there's really no substitute for being on the field and playing.
about the takeaways you forced there, like the pressure and stuff?
As we know that, when you have a chance to force turnovers, there's about 14 possessions a game, 12 to 14 for both teams, and if you win it 3-0, then you get 15 and they get 9. So obviously the takeaways are big in today's game.
You talked earlier this week that you weren't worried that this would be a letdown game for you guys, but just the fact that you went out and showed it, what does that say about this?
Well, I like the demeanor of our team. I like their chemistry, and I've mentioned that the last few years. But we've been fortunate that we have good leaders, and they understand what it takes for us to prepare and have success. And your focus on Sunday through Thursday is what makes you a better football team on Saturday, avoiding distractions and zeroing in on exactly what you have to do. You can't waste a day. And there's times early in our career here as a staff that I didn't feel like our team really prepared well, but I like the way our team practices, and they're having fun. They like being out there, and so that gives you a chance to win.
Isn't it interesting? Whedon completes 86%. Barely even missed.
Right, I haven't even seen a stat sheet. Like I said, Kevin was probably down there looking for me, but he played well. He had one errant throw where he forced the ball that I'm sure he'll tell you that he shouldn't have done. They dropped off and they covered it. That's where he has to just throw the ball away, like he did a couple times today, which is good.
You've been made aware that this ties the record for most points scored
In a game, that's the first I've heard of that.
13 takeaways in 3 games. I'm sorry, 14 takeaways in 3 games. That's kind of what defines the ability on defense.
I hope if they keep taking it away, they'll certainly give us a chance. I like how our players are tackling. I think that they're hitting hard and forcing some turnovers, and then our coverage is slowly but surely over the last couple of years gotten better. Overall, they're in the right spots and not as many seams as what you would think. We still have a lot of work ahead of us, but it's just gotten a little bit better each year.
One of Coach Dion's concerns at the beginning of the year, as the year progresses, the depth of the defense, and you got to see a lot of the younger guys getting get some rest. Are you feeling more comfortable after watching those guys play second half about the depth?
Well, I'm glad that they're in there and playing, and I watch the game. I don't really see a lot of what goes on without watching the tape. But we have some young guys that are going to factor in as the season goes on. When you get into the latter part of it and fatigue sets in and guys get turned ankle and more players have to compete. So the more reps we can get them on the field certainly makes us feel better.
Herschel Sims played today. What's he done in practice to kind of earn that opportunity?
Well, he's work habits have been much better the last few weeks, and he's started to turn the corner a little bit, and he's earned the right to get back on the field and play. Prior to that, he wasn't ready to play, mentally or physically, and there's a stage you go through, and he's getting a little better. He's got a long ways to go, but he was better the last couple weeks, so he's earned the right to get on the field and play.
Mike, could you address the game at Texas next week, and how big a game is it for your football team?
Well, as you know, they're all big, and it'll be an important step for us. The guys need to enjoy tonight and come back tomorrow fresh and ready to practice and let Kansas go and get ready for the next one. And Texas has good players, and so they'll be all revved up and ready to go with the top 10 team coming in the country or coming into their stadium. So it'll be a big game.
If you had played Texas today, could Grant Garner have played? Was that strictly a precautionary deal?
Not sure. We'd have had to push it. If it would have been the last game of the year, would we have played him? Yes.
So, but by holding him out, then you're assured pretty much that he can go next week.
I would be surprised if he doesn't play next week. LeBrew did a nice job. And I think number 60 played some too, Epstein. But I thought those guys did a nice job.
Well, that's the difference in your program now and 5 years ago.
Getting
Lost the frontline guy 5 years ago. Scrambling.
right. Well, we have a few more guys that get a chance to, that have had a chance to be in there and have some experience in these games. LeBrew's played a number of snaps in the last couple of years in these situations. So, good. All right, thank you.